Thank you all for coming to the post-game press conference. Final score, Charlotte 68, Tulane 83. Coach, would you like to begin with any opening statements?
It looked disappointing result today, obviously. Just didn't play very well, but credit to them. I thought they put us in a position to play that way. That matchup zone's given teams issues for a long time, and it made us really have to think today. And when you start thinking, then you start making mistakes instead of just playing instinctually. And we turned the ball over a lot, and that really hurts you when they're scoring 21 points off our turnovers.
Coach, when you look at this game, what do you think the team needs to focus on most to work on for the next year?
Starting tomorrow. Well, look, we've taken good care of the ball throughout the year. Today we did not, and that really hurt us. I mean, scored 21 points off 17 turnovers. We scored 2 off their 8. So that was kind of the thing today. I guess the Achilles heel for us a little bit this year with our group is, it's difficult for us to keep teams off the glass. We're going to have to address that area, which we talk about all the time. We drill it, we practice it, so we're just going to have to keep chipping away with that. We generate pretty good shots, and we just don't shoot the ball well enough yet as a team. We need more than just one guy, 2 guys making shots. We kind of need 4 or 5 guys being pretty reliable from that area, and we don't have that. And just getting guys back in rhythm. G had a tough one today, but he's been obviously very good for us throughout the year, and he's coming off that injury too, and did some really good things for us out there in Hawaii in that little tournament. And so just getting him back into form and getting him right. But yeah, look, you play so many different styles of game in this league, and you've got to be able to adjust quickly to different things. We'll play Rice next game, it'll be totally different. So really preparing. I wish our group listened a little better. I think we instruct and we don't quite comprehend to then execute at a high enough level. The guys talk about it. They talk about, they play hard and they stay together and they compete and they fight, and we do those things, which we've shown multiple times this year throughout games. But we need to systematically and just scout-wise execute better, and understand what we're trying to do and do it at a really high level and do that under pressure. And it's a challenging thing to do. But something that we just got to keep chipping away and keep getting better at.
In the first half, they started out shooting 6 for 10. What was the defensive adjustment? 'Cause I think the rest of the half they ended up shooting 5 for 20.
Just trying to ramp up the pressure a little bit. Again, understanding the scout. We closed out on, Williams short the first 2 shots he took, and 75% of his shots he takes are threes. That's knowing your personnel, knowing who you're closing out on. So he got a rhythm going with that. We were able to, we did some different things defensively just to try and disrupt them and get them to think. But we dug such a big hole and can't do that. Can't do that at this level.
At halftime, Jayshon Thomas was leading the team in points. Don't think he took another shot in the second half till 6 minutes left. Was that something they did defensively, or do you think there were some shots he could have taken, should have taken?
Obviously, when they play that type of defense, right, it comes back to ball movement and players making the right decisions. And so you just can't draw up plays for certain guys like you would against a man-to-man. And that's the other thing, that when you play against teams like that sit in that zone, they're forcing you to typically do things that you don't do a lot every day. Typically you play against a lot of man-to-man. And so they make you try and do things that you typically don't do or practice a lot. We prepared for what they're going to do. We just try and run what we do against man and just make little tweaks against the zone. so for him, he has to find a way to be aggressive and find himself in spots as well at the right time. But, I was a bit disappointed. He gave up a couple of offensive rebounds to start the half when we needed to build some pressure. And so he sat for a while. And, the guys have got to understand, they've got to bring strong, positive, continuous behaviors out there on the floor under pressure. And we can't keep repeating the same mistakes. I'll just go find people that can eventually get to a spot where they'll do things at a much higher level. I know we're going to make mistakes. Every team does. It's a game of mistakes, right? And it's just who makes the least. And turn the ball over like that, that's a lot of mistakes. Not listening and executing mistakes. And we made more than they did.